Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I am Karabo Dlamini and I'm here with.
My name is Shalene Ayanda Mimela.
Welcome to the Frame by Frame podcast where we'll be talking about everything film. So we're first going to start with talking about the changes within the film industry.
Hmm.
Well, on my perspective, what I would talk about here is how the development within the film industry has kind of swayed away from passion and has now been a thing about your popularity. There's no more purpose that is within the industry when it comes to young talent and everything. What
Mm,
did you take of that?
I agree with you because now, even when you go for auditions, they ask for your social media handles, how many followers that you have. And if you can now observe, I think actors are now taken from, oh, you're in TikTok and you're doing this and this. So come and act because we got you from TikTok.
It's no more about what you can do as a talented person, and then as well as the technology and the film industry. I will talk about that. A lot of people believe that AI has taken over talent, but it hasn't if you can use it in a smart way. And the way that we can incorporate that in the industry is by using AI to enhance our creativity instead of letting it uh, tell our stories for us. Like if you have to punch in something, just prompt something like, can you create um, a certain story for me, and letting AI to just write the whole story for you instead of like putting your heart into it. And I would say that's how it's changed. Like a lot of people have relied a lot on AI instead of putting their thought into it as a creative.
True, true. However, I just think that things are evolving.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot take that away. AI fitlile ifitlile. Ifikile. Yes. And also it's not really about AI taking away the creativity because um behind the AI creativity there's somebody behind it
Actually having to control the whole thing.
having to control the whole thing. Yes. Actually, I just think makeup, um, AI is really like makeup. It just enhances the beauty of the creativity that the person has
Mm.
as an individual. That's
I
just
think
my
that's how we
point.
should use it more than
Yes.
just um, asking it to do everything for us.
Mm.
And then in that way, it can actually be working to our advantage in that case instead of it thingy. And then if we move on to the next topic, I think we should talk about also streaming platforms, like
Ningangbus.
how streaming platforms either help or kind of is detrimental to the film industry. It can be a good or bad thing. Whereas you get your YouTubes, you get your Instagrams as well. They do short films on Instagram. Then you get Facebook, which has also helped creatives to put their artwork out there, like their short films. But we get other streaming platforms that plagiarize the work of the artist, and people don't get paid from that. They can't run royalties from that. So I think if we use the legal side of filmmaking when it comes to streaming, it can be to our advantage. But if most of us now are streaming on these websites, it's very difficult for filmmakers to make money from their artwork and everything. So I don't know. For streaming platforms, it's a very tricky one because I feel that it's easier for a creative to publish their work on YouTube rather than to go to Universal and be like, hey, can you help me out? I need to publish my work and everything. So they use that as their way of, you know, letting the world know that this is what they're about.
True. I think the reason why they decide to use the platforms to their advantage is because they probably could be a delay from the legal way where they have to get like certain documents, copyright and everything. So they're just like, okay, probably I think they do this because they're hoping that somebody would actually just realize them. They don't have the patience of waiting. That okay, I just have to do things step by step.
Yeah.
They just want to put their work out there, hoping that somebody would just come and be like, hey, I saw you on YouTube or wherever, and I think your work is good. Come, let's work. More like they're just using it as their marketing strategy.
Okay,
Quick.
so along those lines, do you think young people are becoming more creative when it comes to filmmaking?
Creative but impatient.
Impatient in what sense?
Impatient as in there's always a hierarchy of how you have to do things.
Do you say something?
To do certain things, yes. However, we find it daunting, more like frustrating. Okay, so you know what? I'm just going to use what I have to get what I want.
So you feel like the lack of resources is what's affecting creatives not to create and
Exactly.
everything?
Yes.
I agree. Okay, I don't agree all the way. I feel like technology has advanced to the point where creatives can literally do what they want right now. You know, regarding streaming platforms, it's there. If you have like a good quality camera, you can shoot like anything. when
I'm
it comes to
glad.
creativity.
I'm glad you mentioned good quality camera. But the iPhone, give on about good quality camera, because also now you want to sell your work. You want it to speak for itself before you or everything. Just like how you dress how you want to be addressed, right? So if ngiyafika nami nemobiseli yami bantu, you know, ngithatha isithombe laphaya, it will take time. Ufana ubone ukuthi, oh wow, kusona so lana, you know. You have to go an extra mile in order for your work to sell itself and to speak for itself.
So you think that resources are what's stopping people to be more creative?
And amasithi resources nemali angithi siyayisho phakathi.
It's part of it, but do we really need money?
Money talks, bullshit walks.
You, but not all the way though. I mean, if you look at the projects that we're busy with now, right? If you had a team behind you right now, that's about 15 people, and you'll all put money together, like not hectic money, but just a small budget. Don't you think that you could make it work somehow? Like if you have the creativity and you feel like you have the capacity to carry out that project that you're really passionate about, and you have people behind you, don't you think it's possible to be more creative? Like, don't you think it will drive you?
Okay, I have 15 people behind me. I'm the mastermind of everything that is
The
happening there.
mastermind, we have like the creative plan in everything.
Okay, so you do realize that when this project is starting to be whatever vision that you wanted it to be, those 15 people, how we started, we're not going to end up as 15, because someone will be like, okay, we're not getting enough money, because you're the mastermind. You are seeing the vision. They're just backing you up with the vision. And it gets daunting because, imali.
That's why you have to work with like-minded people.
But how many people will actually be like, yeah, I mean, I can do it for free. I push on ukarabo, it's live vision. See tall.
I mean, if the person is trusting, don't you think you'd be like, let's go ahead?
Money talks. Money
Also, so
talks.
capital is the big thing.
Capital is a big thing in every way, in anything. Money, everything.
If you put it in that context, but I don't agree all the way that money is everything. When it comes to creativity, if you're creative, you'll come up with ways that are creative for your creativity.
Yeah, but again, when you're creative, you're creative. Fana nokuthi ngiyacula mara akaze sakuzucula. I mean, yes, something must back up your creativity, and you need money to push this creativity, to push this vision.
Okay, we'll let that topic come later then. And then, why do you think real stories are important, like in the industry, like telling real life stories?
I think people relate more
To
to
it.
real life stories, and some they define us.
Mm.
For an example, like Shaka Ilembe,
Mm.
some people didn't fathom Shaka Zulu. There was bit of complications. Okay, but I think Shaka Ilembe, just made it in a way where the modern world, like,
Mm.
we can understand it better than back then. Because honestly, when I grew up, Shaka Zulu, oh, I know, but I understood it better now with Shaka Ilembe, and everything. And or you also can relate to it because you're an African, you can relate to these type of stories. They make you enjoy them.
Yeah, I agree with that one. That bringing, or watching certain things that are close to home, they kind of make you feel very belonging to,
Sure.
to certain things. It's like you are seen in that moment that, um, especially if it's about culture or anything traditional wise that is very close to home, it makes you feel like you have a place, in a way. Not only in the industry, but as well as just in general being a person, because sometimes you can feel like you're excluded because Marvels, you're like okay, I love it, but I cannot relate to it.
True.
Because I give one about 12 for Spider-Man, who's gonna save the day and anything. But
Exactly.
when you watch movies like Utsotsi or anything that's close to home, you're like, oh, maybe there is a hero in my township, but I just don't know it yet. Maybe they'll come through and be like, oh, it's again, come through for us and maybe change the day. We don't know. But yeah, I think um, when it comes to also telling real stories, is something that we spoke about earlier on, is that our stories are being told by people that don't really understand our stories, which is also, for me, um, it's kind of personal for a white man to tell a black man's story, because it doesn't feel like we shifting away from the past. You understand? I feel like a black man should be telling our stories more than that, because I feel like it's somehow propaganda. It's selling a story that you've never been a part of. You understand?
True.
So I don't know, but we'll come back and then wrap it up for now. Which famous filmmaker or actor would you want to work with?
Tyler Perry.
Tyler. I think everyone wants to work with Tyler Perry, and why?
Tyler Perry. I feel like most of the films that he makes, I just imagine myself part of them.
Being part of them. Like, for me, it's mostly the script writing parts, telling stories that feel gut wrenching for some reason, inspire me to write more, like things that we don't really express in our everyday lives, or get to experience or see on a daily basis. Understand? Yeah, I think that's why I would collaborate with Tyler Perry. Like, he just brings out a certain perspective about life that makes you view life differently through his writing and storytelling. So I think for me, yeah, Tyler Perry for storytelling. I would work with him and everything. Yeah. So, what is your guilty pleasure TV show or movie? Pass it.
Pass it.
Okay, for me, my series that I like watching is Friends. I don't know if you know it.
No,
With
I don't.
Rachel, Joey, and then yeah, that's my comfort show. I go to it whenever I'm just feeling down. I'm like, yeah, that's it.
Honestly, I'm not a series or a film person.
A film person, but
No,
truthful.
but I know.
But truthful.
I know.
But no, it's understandable. It's like when you a music producer of a certain genre, you don't listen to that genre particularly. So I understand when people are like, no, I don't like watching movies, because when you create, it's like you don't want to shift away from your own creativity, or you don't want to like pollute your creativity by watching way too much of what's being put out there. Even though it's very
Exactly.
important to like just indulge in one or two shows.
Ngizobona khona.
Uzobona khona ukuthi kwenzakalani. All right. So, if your journey was turned into a movie, who would play you? Like, character-wise, even if it's a famous actor that you know or anything.
Tessa from after he collided.
Okay, I don't know the movie, but I'll do research on it. Okay, what is it about? Just like an outline
Oh,
of her character in that story that you gravitate towards.
I like how she found herself. I think, you know, when you in a space where you are shorted and then you find yourself and you just take responsibility to, you know who you are, messy as it is, but you eventually get to find yourself. The most important thing is to don't let the environment define who you are. Just find yourself. Yeah.
Story for another day.
Story for
another day. I think for me, even though it's a male character, but I gravitate towards Carlton from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, because like he's such a goody two shoes. Like he does everything right, but there's a certain part of him that just wants to blossom without the expectations of everyone and everything. And he's kind of like goofy. He plays off as this goofy character, but at the same time that goofiness plays off the pain that is going on inside of him. So I feel like that I gravitate towards him more.
Uwelo yone. Yeah, ngiyafuma nami.
Ufuma nami. Hayi, ungabi creative ngami. And then another question, when you're on set, right? Coffee, energy drinks, pure stress, what fuels your creativity when you're just like, not only on set particularly, but just in general?
Coffee.
Why?
I'm a lover of coffee. Coffee just makes sense. You know, it gives me some ease. I don't work well under pressure. I don't want to lie. I panic. But when I drink coffee and I feel calm, then I can think.
I think for me it's the other way around. Stress, pure stress. Stress me out. Okay, not literally, but I work very well when I'm under pressure. When I put my mind to something, I'm just like, I have to do it. And my creativity just, it happens for itself, you know. Also depends, like, what's the inspiration behind it. So I think that'll even drive me more. Like, when I know what is the muse of my creativity, I'll be like, okay, I have to do it. Understand? So I think, the pressure part for me, even if there's no pressure, but I'll put myself under pressure for some reason. I don't know why.
I was not born in Bogota, hey.
Just the baby girl.
I'm just a baby girl.
I'm just breathing and stuff.
Exactly.
I don't know which other question I should ask, but I think this one. What's the most unexpected thing that inspires your creativity?
Unexpected.
Like out of the ordinary, like you never thought it would inspire your creativity.
I don't know.
I think for me it's just like enjoying life and being around people. Certain people. Understand? Yeah, certain parts of my creativity is fueled by life in general, me experiencing life. Yeah, I think that's what fuels my creativity. And other people's creativity.
That's my homework.
Your homework.
Yeah.
You need to do some self-introspection. Right. So after all the talking that Charlene and I did, we thought that it was sensible to bring someone that is experienced within the film industry. I would really like for him to introduce himself.
Greetings, guys. Kalvitoke Atlahang, and most people call me Atli.
Hello, Atli. Hello, Atli boy. So I would like you to tell us about your journey as a filmmaker or aspiring filmmaker.
Well, my journey for film making started at church. I started working as a videographer, and mostly when I started, I was on the main camera. On that camera, you focus on the person who's on stage, who's maybe, if it's worship, praise and worship, you just follow the lead singer. Then if it's time for the word, like when the pastor is preaching, you just follow the pastor.
Okay, so is filmmaking something you always felt like doing, or is it something that you just fell into?
Nah, I just fell into it. Honestly, I started hard color, like the media team. There were a few people that showed that, and then I stepped in to help. And then just like that, I just fell in love with it.
And all of that. So your experience, you gained it from church and everything. So you're a believer that God has placed you in this position to tell certain stories as well. You believe so? So we'll be hearing stories from you in the near future. So Atli, tell us, Jorge, do you see yourself within the film industry?
Yeah, I'd say I do see myself in the film studio, but more behind the scenes.
More behind the scenes, cinematographer, videographer, or in
Yes, man.
And
And
the-
the writer.
what was scriptwriter?
Yeah.
Yeah, o tla bolela di-story tse di jwang.
True.
Okay, before o bolela di story tse di jwang, ne. Okay, you mentioned church, right? And I believe church shaped the person that you are and what you believe in, right? So, in church, there's always this thing, if you're in media or you're in any service unit, there's a certain way that you have to carry yourself as brother wa ko kerekeng, right? So, in terms of writing the script, will you be writing scripts that are based on church, Christianity, or you're just going to be atlehang, you don't care what the church says? Church is church.
It's not about only church. Nah, but I want to write like okay, yo, behind church, like outside of church, like I have family that brought me up, and they also brought me up in a, like in a good way, I'd say. So even if like it's just Atleham, you wouldn't say there's a difference between Atleham or and Atleham outside of church. So yeah. I don't know if I answered your question, but there wouldn't be a difference among my stories.
Okay, so like, let's say you've written this script, right? Here's your film. Obviously, you have to go to church and testify. Testimony, and yeah, I've made it at Lang. The church is the first place where they support your work, right? Now I'm asking you, will the work that you do, will you make sure that it's safe also because you have a title in church? You also wanna, protect your title. You don't want the church to see you otherwise. For example, like fatal seduction. Would you write such
Explicit content.
explicit content?
I wouldn't write such.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't say I'm not comfortable with such. Even we like watching such, I'm not.
You as an individual. Okay.
Okay, so apart from that question, what like challenges have you faced as a creative in general, not only in church but outside of church as well?
So the challenges I faced, I'd say we work for some people, and when it's time for them to pay, it's a struggle. I say, hey,
Yeah, there's a lot when it comes to money. So how do you deal with like that? Do you still render your services, or do you withhold your creativity?
I stopped working with you. What another
You're not valuing the talent, so you just back away. You're like, nah.
yeah, it gets to a point. Like,
Okay.
there are some people now, like, but will sweet talk and be like, hi, the clients didn't pay. And then, like, when they, like, need your service, they pay you before that.
Yeah.
So, hopefully, it's a pay.
Okay.
But it gets to a point.
It gets to a point. So do you think like people or creatives that take free gigs are affecting those who actually value their work?
Could you repeat the question?
Like someone that takes
gigs for free. Like they are willing to do things for free. Do you think they're affecting a person who actually values their craft like that? Like, I'm talented enough for you to pay me. I'm not gonna do it. Do you think they're affecting the industry in a way to say, I'll do it for free? It's fine.
I wouldn't say it's gonna depend on like the agreement you had with the person you're working with. I wouldn't just like work with you and not tell you this gig kamahala. So like if like it depends on who you are and how you approach your team. If you're gonna tell them, oh, okay, here I'm working with this person, so then tell them like brief them, oh, okay, this is a free thing.
Gig.
Yeah.
And everything.
Yeah. And it shouldn't be like free. Like at least like buy accommodation, buy them food,
Transport,
yeah.
somewhere, help somewhere.
Okay, so in the industry, it's very difficult to stay motivated when you know that you are not being valued. So how do you keep yourself motivated in such circumstances when you face things like, okay, ababatlong patala and stuff? How do you keep yourself going? Like,
For me, I'd say the people I've worked with, like there are people that are sharp and like, okay, let's say getting not just body payments, but like they value your work. After production, they speak to you handily, they appreciate your work.
Okay, so Atlahang, you spoke about there are people that value your work after production. Like, according to you, when you define value your work, like how do they value your work exactly?
I'd say they value my work. They just value my work. Like, they value my work because I'd say now the week when I'm cutting, they value my work because they keep calling me back. They're always appreciating. They make sure I'm fed. Like, and
they pay.
Yeah, and they pay.
Oh, okay.
And they pay good money. Like, unlike some people, like, they rob and then they delay to pay.
they rob. They rob me, boy. They rob me. Okay, so if you had to give advice to like an emerging creative that is aspiring to be in the same space that you are, like what would you say to them, like advice wise?
Do your thing, 21.
Do your thing, 21.
I'm joking. I say, Scott's about onto how, like, if you're a cameraman, like, if you're an operator, be an operator. If I was to be anything, ask questions. Yeah, that's how you get to know what you want to do and what you're doing. Ask questions. Yeah. And don't listen to people. Like, don't listen to people.
Don't listen to people at all.
Because people that are like, you want to do this, they'll tell you how they want to do it. If you have an idea about what you want to do, the way you want to do it the way you want to do it. Learn from your mistakes. If you learn from it, like if you're doing mistakes, learn from your mistakes. And like learning from other people's mistakes.
Yeah. Okay. So if you had to sit with your younger self now, right, and knowing that, oh, this is where I see myself, what would you say to your younger self as you now?
Peter?
Like, if you had to have a conversation, this small athlete boy, what would you say to your younger self?
To my younger self, I probably bless it. Have a look around. Look at yourself now. More so. And also, no. So the grass is green on the other side.
The grass is green on the other side. Okay, so as a believer, what scripture carries you like throughout your journey as a filmmaker?
There's like a few of them. It's not just one.
You can name them all. It's fine. We have patience.
Okay, so it's the first one is in Philippians. It's Isaiah and it's romance. So the one is I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Which one is that one?
It's Philippians
Okay.
4 verse 16 or 13. Okay. Then Isaiah, it's when the time is right, the Lord will make it happen. And then romance, it's the pain you're feeling now can't be measured to the joy that's coming.
Your brother. Hey! Preach, brother, preach.
Yes, yes.
So, is there a message that you would like to leave for people who will be watching this?
I think the message I said to
your younger self.
No, not the younger self. The aspiring.
To aspiring artists. So you are targeting aspiring artists particularly.
No. No way. Okay, I'd say yes. Say yes.
All right. So you enjoy what you're doing?
A lot.
A lot. You love it with the passion. All I wanted was the desire.
No fire. No footwork. No
But man, it was nice having you here and hearing your point of view as a creative and just getting to experience your side of things. And we really appreciate you being here, bringing your presence and your word, you know.
Thank you guys for having me.
And you did so well answering them. But nonetheless, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.